Hi guys, and welcome to data management. We've been talking about a lot of things that we're doing in this area for quite a while, so this is going to be relatively short because this is just reiterating a lot of information you may have already heard. So the MQTT service, this is now in public preview. We've got a YouTube video already up there, and there's lots of information on Tech Community. I'll go through that all in a minute. We've got a public preview of monitoring and management. So for those of you that battled with badly behaved consumers when you were using the Notification V2 API, you now have the ability to actually sort those beasties out so that you no longer fill up your topics and have to come to us every time you're actually trying to develop something and figure out what is going on. We also cover that in that video for the MQTT service. And as Ruben has already, thank you very much, articulated, we're very excited about the certificate authority, which again is in public preview. And again, Ruben, I've pinched one of his videos, put it up onto YouTube. He does a really excellent video on how to use it there. One word of caution, some behavior may change, especially around the MQTT service, where we're adding a lot of new capability before it goes into general availability. So if you get excited about any of these public previews, and I hope you all do, I hope you have a look at them, have a play with them, please do get in touch. And so then if you're using capability that we know is going to change or may break, we can actually give you a heads up and we can work with you so that you can have some input to that. So then, MQTT service, very quickly, most of you will be aware of this. A number of reasons why we did this, but long story short, the new service supports MQTT v5 out of the box. You've got no constraints on the data format or the topic structure, so you can actually connect any device that's authenticated with Cumulocity and just send the data straight in. And you can have a free topic structure. So clearly you will have already twigged that if you're sending data in that's not in Cumulocity format, you're going to have to do the mapping. So I'll discuss that in just a sec. For the public preview, it's tenant level isolation. So that means that devices can potentially see each other's data. A spoiler alert for general availability, that's one of the big changes we're making. So you will have device level isolation out of the box at GA. So that means that devices cannot see the data of other devices. Security, clearly certificate-based authentication, that is currently the best approach when you are connecting your devices. But if you've got older devices or something you want to play with that can't support certificate-based authentication for some reason, Basic Auth is also supported. And that link there is to the documentation, which we've spent a lot of time on. So any feedback, guys, please do get in touch. We're very keen to make sure that this is best in class. So then, how to get started? This has already been covered off with this nifty new UI capability. If you go into the enablement, you'll actually see the microservices there. It should be available on all SaaS instances from now. So how to map the data? As I said previously, you've got all of this lovely data in there, but of course it's not in a format that we can use in Cumulocity. So you can use the dynamic mapper, which a lot of you will already be very familiar with. There have been lots of presentations. There's a link there to a really good video, as well as a link to the GitHub area for the dynamic mapper, or you can build your own microservice. So you can actually do your own data cleansing, figure out what you actually want to do with your data, do the mapping yourself in your own microservice. So monitoring and management. So this is for the underlying messaging service that we have in Cumulocity. So it's not just for the MQTT service. It also covers off notification v2 as well as data broker. So as I mentioned, anything that uses the messaging service, you can now see the topics and the consumers, and you can do something about those consumers that either disconnect and never come back, but of course we still keep the messages for you if you do that. So actually this isn't actually very high res, but you'll notice that on one of these there's a consumer that's not consuming. So what you can do is you can go over to the right here and you can say you can go, and that will allow the topic to start draining down, because there's a time to live, which from memory is 24 36 hours. And if your message isn't consumed by that time, we get rid of it. There's also a backlog size that once your backlog size on your topic is reached, we push back on the publisher so that no more messages can be sent. And also there's a limit on the topics. Now, at the moment, a lot of these limits are quite conservative because we want to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So if even in a POC or when you're playing with this public preview, you need to have bigger limits, do just get in touch with us and we can discuss how we do that. So then to the certificate lifecycle management, again, it's very easy. You'll see I've circled a little area here. It's grayed out because we'd already used the CA certificate. Literally all you have to do from the user interface perspective is click on that and you're good to go. To register the device, you need just a user ID and a one-time password, and that's the only time it's used from ever on. You actually use the certificate, and as has already been explained, the certificates are automatically renewed every year, and your CA certificate will be renewed every 3 years. Documentation link there as well. Now, I might be down in the weeds, but I really couldn't let everybody else get away with talking about AI and me not being able to say something about it. So this is very much this is what we're working on for the future. So please, no questions about when it's going to GA or be available. As soon as we have those sorts of answers, I'll let you know. So intelligent data preparation. So this is about how do we help you get the data that's coming into the right format. How you might want to cleanse the data, you might want to do other things with the data, and we want to help you do that. And part of that will be looking at how AI can actually help us do that. I mean, it's an obvious space for AI, right? I mean, if you look at the most basic data mapping, that's got to be an easy one. But really what we actually want to look at is make your user journey on creating your solution a coherent AI assisted journey, so that it becomes quicker, easier to actually get from get-go to something, and then easier to keep refining and updating and enhancing as your business use cases grow and as your use of Cumulocity grows. So that's it for me. I'm now going to hand over to Alex.